Do 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 do. Am I live? Do 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 do. Can you hear me? Do 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 do. Can you hear me? Am I live? And can you hear me? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Can you hear me? Do do do. Do 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 do. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna look on my phone in case this isn't working. Sometimes I don't get the chat messages. 1 second. Let me see if we get. Oh, Silka. Yes, I am indeed live. Late, but nonetheless, I am here. I'm supposed late by 1 minute. Maybe doesn't quite count as late, but nonetheless, I apologise for my lateness, my tardiness in arrival. Hopefully, we're all doing well. Haha! Lots of people saying hello. Hello, folks. So I. I say this every time. I'm going to attempt to do a quick video. It should be quick. I'll do my best to be quick, but feel free to pop some questions in the chat, and we'll go from there. Okay? I might yawn. I just got back from holiday today, so I just thought I'd say hello after a very nice rest of the week with the family. So just thought I'd pop in. Just had a youth session, so they're continuing to be awesome. So yeah, big shout out to the youth. They've just been introduced to another new song. So not to put too fine a point on it, but they are like ravenous beasts of harmony. I think that's maybe our name, the ravenous beasts of harmony. I think is what we will call them. So they did "You Will Be Found." They've then done "Blinding Lights." They've got another song which they've done recordings for already. They've then got another song, which we're almost finished, and then they've got another song, and they're doing "It's Not the End." It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But yeah, so just come off the back end of a rehearsal with the youth. And yeah, awesome stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed their video of "Blinding Lights" the other day. And yeah, good stuff. So I'm going to attempt to be quite quick. And just go through a couple of bits. I obviously am still alive. I'm still around. Someone did put a message. I can't remember who it was, but someone's like, "I miss you not dropping into sessions." And I miss not dropping into sessions. This so far, oddly enough, in a song that I wrote and is my composition, I have not been able to be as involved in main collective sessions in this song so far. With Holiday, and obviously I start back at work in my job as director of music at my school on Monday, so I'm back full time on Monday. So I will be around and about. But again, my not free time, but my time is a little bit more limited at the moment. But again, it doesn't mean I'm not doing lots of things in the background. So I definitely am. But yeah, so hello everybody. If you've never seen me before, hello, I'm Simon. The people may have mentioned me to you in some way. Hopefully it was positive, but you never know. I would say that what they say is either true or not true. Probably it's true, whether it be positive or negative. It's probably true. So either I apologize or thank you, depending on what you were saying about me. So hopefully you've enjoyed phase 1 and phase 2 of "It's Not the End." Our music team have been really, really, really pleased with how everyone's been learning the song, the speed of learning the song, and how everyone's getting into the song, the kind of emotional connection that people have got. And we've had lots of really positive things on the different chat threads and things that we have with the music team. Yeah, so they've been really, really impressed by everyone's work. Unmuted singing sessions seem to still be going well. Just a reminder from the music team themselves, if you book a music unmuted singing session and you can't attend, could you please let us know, either on the Facebook members page, but possibly by sending it through to our email address, the collective virtual choir MT for music team at gmail.com. Would be useful, just so we can free up that space for someone else, and just so our session leaders of those unmuted sessions know how many people they've got going to those sessions. So if you can't make it for whatever reason, stuff happens, but do please make sure you do your best to let the people know if you then can't make a booked session. Yeah, so that's the first thing done. The second thing is we are currently looking obviously at phase 3. We're on the last day of phase 2, and we are looking at phase 3 at the moment. Phase 3 is significantly longer. Phase 3 is 9 days long. So phase 3 is actually longer than phase 1 and phase 2 put together. That was the design. It's not like a mathematical error. It is part of our design to do that, and hopefully, so we've still got quite a while on this song to be able to really get into the meat of it. Hopefully you're doing well with the song and you're really enjoying it as well. What else? I was going to say something and I completely forgot. That's what happens when you haven't live streamed for a while. You forget what you're going to say. So yeah, feedback. The main reason for this was just to mention the feedback process. There currently is not a feedback form online. That's basically going to get created, and it will go live tomorrow morning. Okay, I will pop a link to it on the members page, and it will just be a Google form. But also, once that link goes out on the Google form, Ian Walker will put a link to it in the app. So you'll be able to access it from the app. If you go into the app at the moment, it's not there. That's because it doesn't yet exist. It's not a difficult thing to do. But again, the feedback times that we have, if I just quickly go up so I actually give the correct times for this, because I don't want to give the incorrect dates for my own song. Here we go. So it opens Saturday morning. So tomorrow morning, UK time, the start of the uploads for feedbacks, it happens tomorrow. So you can send in recordings from tomorrow morning once that form is uploaded and you can access it. Then that finishes on the end of Tuesday. Okay, the end of Tuesday. So end of Tuesday, that then we'd like the recordings in by the end of Tuesday. So you've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and all of Tuesday. So you've got 4 days to basically send in a recording using a very simple Google form. Now, the Google form, all it has in it is your email address, your name, what section you're singing in, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and then you upload a file. That's it. Okay, so it's nice and simple. At this stage, people have been asking about naming the file. If you can name the file, that's brill. And all you'd need to put in is voice part, surname, first name. So last name, first name, in that order. Voice part, so like alto, Lubkowski, Simon, if you can name the track. Don't worry if you can't name the track. It's more important that you send the track in rather than you necessarily don't send it in because you don't know how to name your audio files. Audio formats, don't worry too much. If you can send it in as an MP3 file, that would be great. If you don't know how to do that, or your phone creates M4A files, that's fine. We can access them and we can open them as well. Please do not send videos. Okay, this is just audio. So again, unlike some virtual choirs you may have done before, you may have been part of, it is just audio recordings we want. The videos are all done in a different way. We do the videos as part of Zoom sessions, and we just want audio. Okay, so please don't send videos. It will also fill up the folder and the form, and also mean it's difficult for our music team to listen to them. And we're not going to be commenting on your visuals, we're commenting on your vocals. So that's one thing to be aware of. So you've got until the end of Tuesday to do that. It's a very simple form. And again, if you do have any technical issues, Ian Walker runs daily technical support sessions. Sometimes he runs more than one a day. So he runs them daily. So for example, he has one tomorrow, technical support session, tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. He then has another one on Monday at 7 o'clock at night. He has Tuesday at 10 in the morning. He has Tuesday at 4 in the afternoon. He has Tuesday at 10 o'clock at night. He does them daily, sometimes more than one a day, to try and fit all the various countries and time zones. So if you do have any questions, any issues with your recording for feedback, then please go to a feedback session. You can obviously ask people on the members page, but please be aware that if you get someone on the members page telling you something, they may well know the answer, or they may just be giving you an opinion which may not be correct. Okay, so again, you use the members page, ask people questions. A lot of the time you'll get the correct answer, but just be aware that if you want a 100% answer, if you get a reply from Ilhan Haktina on the members page, that will be a correct answer, because Ilhan is our kind of admin support person on the music team. So he basically gets all the information from myself and the other section leaders and stuff. And he's kind of involved and is on the music team and in the section leading team. But again, also Ian. So if it's from Ilhan, if it's from Ian, if it's from Rita, if it's from myself, then that's going to be correct. Again, if it's from someone else, may well be correct, but just make sure you double check. And if you want to go to a technical support session, do so, and you can get those answers and from Ian. Then basically the feedback will be sent to you within a week. Okay, so the deadline is 11 o'clock on the Tuesday, and you will receive that Tuesday, the 25th of August, and you will receive. Let me just have a look. Yeah, so you will receive. Pardon me. You will receive feedback with a week after that, which is, and I quote, the 1st. So the 1st of September. The latest you would receive your feedback is the 1st of September. It could well be earlier, but again, there is no guarantee of your feedback being earlier. So please, if you don't get your feedback from your recording, it will be sent to your email address that you put on the form. So please check the email address on the form is correct. It will be sent to your email address that you provided, and it will, so if you don't get it back within a day, please don't then start sending additional emails. You will get an email receipt. So you'll get a receipt. So you'll be sent an email with your responses to that form. And you'll also be told when you've submitted the form, it will say, thanks for your submission. It will say, thanks for your submission. If it says thanks for your submission, we've got your recording. Okay. You don't get individually emailed to tell you that we got your recording, because that would mean manually sending you emails. Okay. The systems we use they're not bodges, but they are utilizing free software, utilizing workarounds to make sure that we can do stuff and keep the overheads at zero. The way we do what we do is by basically making sure everything is free. Obviously, it's free for you as singers, so everything you get is absolutely without any charge, and it is free. But that does mean that we don't have any budget, which means everything we do on the back end has to be done with goodwill and free. So all the session with Google Forms and all those kind of things is. So again, you will get a receipt sent from Google Forms when you fill the form in, but you won't necessarily get an individual email from a person saying thank you, but you will get a response. So once it says thanks for your submission, we've got it. You don't need to worry. If you don't hear anything and you haven't got something by the end of the 1st of September, then please let us know, chase it up, ask us, and obviously then we will get that sorted, and we'll find out what's happened to your feedback or what happened to your actual upload in the first place. But yeah, so please don't be worrying if you don't get something within a day, and then start worrying and putting lots of messages on the Facebook page, because that basically then means that every time someone puts something up, one of the team has to go and check the long list of uploads to then tell you what you already know, which is you submitted it and you haven't received feedback yet. Okay, so try and keep, I know it's difficult, but try and keep your questions and emails until after the 1st of September. If it's like, I haven't received my feedback yet, did you receive my recording correctly? Try and keep them until after the 1st of September, because if you haven't received it by that point, then that's something we will definitely want to look into. Okay. So next thing, so that's feedback. So all you need to do is do audio. You need to count 2, 3. So we don't have to clap in this song with It's Not the End. So as the count goes 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, all you need to do is go 2, 3, and then you're in. Okay, so all you just have say 2 and 3. That's more for the synchronization of the audio editors. So it's not the end of the world on the feedback recording if you don't do that, but it's good practice to do that so that you get used to being able to say 2, 3, and then coming in. Okay, now the feedback. Someone's just put, Samantha Ash has just said, what will the feedback mean whether you're accepted for the final? No. With Collective, there is no pass or fail. Okay, there is no pass or fail at all. So you, just by putting a recording in, every single recording that has ever been sent to us has been in the final version. Okay, every single one. The feedback is so that you can get feedback. So, and again, it's all about supportive feedback. So it is not, it may well pick up and say, okay, there's a little error there on the word, or there's an incorrect note here, but it could be just general things like there's really great kind of control and lovely tone and tuning. Maybe focus on this section for like a little bit of breath support, or, you know, so it's all about positivity. It's all about what are you doing well? And how does our music team think that you could improve what you're already doing in the 4 or 5 days you'll have after you receive your feedback? Okay, so really what we call it is, it's called quick wins. So it's quick wins. So things that you can actually do within the space of 4 or 5 days of looking at this song. Yeah, so it's not, for example, like, okay, well, if you have 6 or 7 months of intensive vocal tuition, then maybe you'll be ready to do a final recording. That's not what we're about. It may be that we can give you some feedback moving forwards that's like further in the future for you, something that might take a little bit more time and potentially involve some kind of coaching and things like that, or kind of you having some kind of singing lessons or vocal coaching and things like that. Externally, obviously kind of getting yourself some private tuition and whatever. But for this, for Collective, it's how can you make this song as good as it can be before the final deadline. You do not have to send audio in for feedback. If you we don't use the audio for feedback. So the feedback audio is not just automatically used for the final recording. When we get to the final upload, that's what we use. So the feedback process is so you can hear from somebody how you're doing, you know, and any tips and tricks. And a lot of people who have received feedback have found it really, really useful. It is really kind of positive. And again, what we try to do is we try to aim the feedback to the level of the singer we get in front of us. So, for example, if we get a singer who, because again, the people who do the feedback are the people who've been taking the sessions. Okay, so alto feedback is done by alto session leaders, so they will know the singers, and sometimes certain session leaders will take certain singers who they've seen in their sessions, so they'll know something about you already in some cases. And they would take them, and for example, if you had a singer who you know or you can hear has had vocal training and is at a relatively kind of high level, whatever that means, then they would obviously be maybe giving some more technical feedback because that person is at a level where actually it may well be that is going to be useful and understood to them. However, if there's someone who where that technical feedback is actually not going to help them, if it's going to actually hinder them because it's going to make them worry, it's going to make them not understand the terminologies involved, we will therefore give feedback which is useful to that singer in their circumstance. So the feedback is tailored to you as a singer, not just kind of generic and that you all get the same thing. So it's not copy and paste comments. It's basically to what we hear. And again, if someone's going to give feedback to me, for example, as a singer, I am relatively experienced. I'm certainly the best singer in the world, but I'm relatively experienced as a singer. Obviously, as a music teacher, if I was going to send a recording through for feedback, I would probably get picked up on things which are probably quite picky. They're probably quite listening and go, okay, maybe a little bit of that, but you know, those kind of things, really quite picky things, because I would hope that my tuning, my pitch, and that thing would be generally okay, and that wouldn't be something that I'd get maybe picked up on. Possibly it would, who knows? I have bad days. But then if there was a singer who had less experience, then maybe it would be about how to get through the phrases. It might be about utilizing ninja breaths. It might be about a bit of breath control. It may be exploring some tonal stuff that maybe your voice is slightly kind of backwards and dark sounding, and it might be a way of just giving a little bit of lightness and lift. And you'll always get some simple feedback on how to do that. So it won't be necessarily smashing you with like bar 47, beat 3, you're ever so slightly flat on this, and this is flat, and that note is wrong, and this bit's terrible, and what are you doing there, and why did you even bother? And nah, it's not like that. It's nice and supportive, all about making sure you have the best performance and the best experience that you can, so that when you put your final recording through, you can go, and this is the important thing, you will not like your final recording. None of the music team like their final recordings. I don't like my guide tracks that I do. Nobody likes their final recordings. However, it just needs to be the best that you can do. Not the best that anyone else could do, but the best that you can do. So however well you can do within the time you have. Some of you have more time at the moment. That's brilliant. Some of you are back at work, you have families, you have other commitments, and you do not have the time to commit to be able to absolutely nail every little thing in this song. And that's absolutely fine, because the whole point of the collective is it fits in with your life, with your schedule, with your abilities, with your experiences, and that's absolutely fine. So you may well, if is that the best you can do? Okay, not is it the best you could do if you were going to if you spent another 25 hours, because the likelihood is if you had those hours to spare, you would have already spent them doing this. So if you haven't got the time to spare. Therefore, what you've done is the best that you can do. And therefore your feedback might be saying, might be literally just saying, these are the things that without too much time, without too much pressure, you can work on. Doesn't mean you have to. You could, for the final recording, submit exactly the same feedback, for the same recording as you did for feedback. If you didn't have time, then you don't have time. If you don't have time to improve it, you don't have time to improve it. You just put it through as a final, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, we say that we don't leave anyone behind, and we mean it. We really try not to leave anyone behind. So we would far rather that you put a recording in that wasn't perfect, even if you think you could have done better. If that's the best you could do in the time we're in the situation that you're in, with the life you're currently living, whatever that may be, everyone has some pretty tough times. We would rather have your recording in and have your voice in there with everyone else, so that you know that you're part of that, regardless of the technical flaws, regardless of the issues. We want your voice in there, and just the best that you can do. So not pass fail. It's not anything to do with that. And again, we are not a competing chorus. We're not trying to win awards for vocal clarity. We want it to sound good. Of course you want it to sound good. We wouldn't be doing all the work we're doing if we were just gonna say, whatever, sing whatever you like. We want it to be as good as it can be, but we want it to be as good as every individual singer can make their own performance, and that is a massive range. Okay, and again, that's fine. We're absolutely fine with that. So please don't worry. When you send your feedback recording in, you'll get positive stuff back. Okay, you'll get positive stuff back, and then you'll get some time to put some work in, if you've got the time, to then do an even better version for the final recording. Okay. We're currently looking at phase 3, looking at what we're going to do with rehearsals. Phase 3 is a little bit longer, at 9 days, which should be fun. They've got some various ideas and thoughts about that. So that's what we're looking at the moment. So the only other things is moving forwards. Now, I haven't mentioned huge amounts about this. And again, at the moment, it's only in kind of embryonic stages. It is very early doors. Collective isn't going anywhere. Okay, it isn't going anywhere, but at the same point, we don't have the ability, as far as music team, as far as my own time, my own schedule, my own things that I've got, obviously as far as work and those kind of then are really important commitments and things that I have. We can't keep the system that we've got going identical. So we can't roll on after it's not the end and suddenly just give it a week and then hit you with exactly the same process as previously, because we already know, and you've maybe noticed that we have actively been trying to have slightly less sessions. We've been trying to understand that our music team have less time than they had during the height of lockdown. We've managed to pick up some new music team members who are doing amazing work, but we still are time limited as far as how much time our music team have, and the other things that they need to be doing. And again, as we get back to that kind of that fabled whatever is the new normal, as we get back to that, we need to make sure that we are evolving the collective in line with people's abilities to be able to take part. What we don't want is to therefore do exactly the same thing in another few weeks' time, but actually then the singers just can't manage it. Do you know what I mean? We've already had a few singers who say, I did the first couple of songs, but I'm back at work and the kids are back at school, and kind of I'm out of lockdown. I just don't have the time. My quartet's back. I don't have the time to do multiple Zoom sessions every single day. And that's understandable. So what we're going to be looking at is to be looking at basically something over a longer period of time. So we're definitely looking at Christmas. Definitely looking at something for Christmas, so that we can then do something for as kind of a Christmas project. Definitely looking at kind of the 1 year anniversary kind of area, so kind of end of March, beginning of April. Again, this is only very embryonic stages. Just this is kind of the idea that we like. There is the possibility of something between September and Christmas. Obviously, the Christmas thing will probably need to start at the end of October. But it wouldn't be exactly the same as the process at the moment. It might be, rather than having 15 sessions a day, it may be that therefore your voice part maybe has, again, this is not set in stone, but maybe there's the ability to have one in a week. So we'd be able to find a time, or there'd be able to be a late one for one for our kind of American singers, and there'd be an earlier one for our kind of UK based and kind of European based singers. Obviously, we'll do our best to kind of fit in with those of you in places like Australia and New Zealand and things, and make sure we try and find some time. So the idea would be to stretch that process that at the moment we do in 2 weeks across more like 4 or 5 weeks, to be able to do that, and we can therefore hopefully manage to find times that our music team can have time to kind of fit those things in around their lives. But again, all this is planning stages, if not even really in the planning stages. I know what I would like to do, and I know a lot of music team have had kind of generic kind of conversations about this, but again, there's nothing hard and fast at the moment, apart from to say that there is a real will to be able to continue to do things, but also to continue to do it where it is it's feasible to be able to do it, and we actually can make sure that the quality of what we do is still really good. And I think at the moment the way of doing that is stretching it over a longer period of time with a song, as opposed to doing the very intensive kind of work that we've been doing with daily rehearsals across a very short period of time, like we have done in the height of lockdown. So yeah, and there'll be more information on that, and hopefully that makes sense. So other things. Other things. Trying to think now. So probably that's it from me for the moment. But yeah, hello to people who've not seen me before. I was going to say the fabled Simon. That sounds very egotistical. But people have mentioned me. But again, yes, I am me, and I am back off holiday. I've got a few things to do tomorrow, but I will be kind of around and about. I have been spending quite a bit of time making sure the youth sessions were kind of up and running and sorted, and hopefully, as you'll see, as I said at the beginning of this live stream, that you have seen the work of the youth chorus, the collective youth chorus, with their version of You Will Be Found and Blinding Lights. They'll have another video coming out, I think, within the next week or two, of another song that they've done. and there'll be a couple more after that as well. So we are currently looking at starting the editing process on the audio for You Will Be Found. The video for You've Got a Friend in Me is ongoing. The audio is done for You've Got a Friend in Me, so all the audio is all mixed, and we're just looking at getting the video done. So video is being done for You've Got a Friend in Me, so hopefully we'll be launching that relatively soon, hopefully before the end of summer. And then obviously you've got You Will Be Found, which audio is going to begin to be edited relatively soon. Obviously, then we already have videos for that, so we'll start doing some work on that. We've got some ideas for It's Not the End. When we get the audio recordings in for It's Not the End, I have a couple of things I'd like to try and get the audio and the premiere of that to be done at some point in October. There's something happening in October. I'd like to try and see if we can get the recording of that involved in something that one of the UK associations is doing here in October, if we can manage it. So yeah, and again, like I said, plans for Christmas and the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, you've got to make sure we do other stuff. Otherwise, you bought your merchandise and then it'll be like it won't exist anymore, and that would be a waste of money. And you'd be asking Rachel for your money back, and we can't have that. So we're going to make sure that we do some things. We're really looking forward to again one bit, and this is way in the future when we're all able to be back singing in the flesh. The possibility of a live collective get together is also 100% a thing that will need to happen, and we will try to give the maximum amount of time so that anyone in any other country that would want to be able to attend that would be able to attend that. If you won't be able to attend that, we are still going to be looking at ways of involving you. So that, again, that's a long way in advance, I would say. But the idea would be the ability to be able to meet, to be able to have a big old, whether it be a whole weekend or something, where we all meet up and we can actually sing together in the flesh, which would be amazing. If you've not heard the Harmony podcast done by one of our singers, John Beasley, which is a great listen. I think it's a 25th podcast he's done. They're usually about an hour long. There was a really good 20-minute segment, on the collective. 3 of our singers were kind of interviewed on how they found the collective and how it works and stuff. And again, some amazing stuff being kind of said about our music team. Amazing stuff said about kind of how well done collective is, and how people kind of are really impressed with how it runs. And again, I say this every single time, and it's because it's true and it needs to be said. I said it in youth today. Someone in youth thanked me. They said thank you to me for youth session. But there's a team of 6 of us who do the youth sessions. And it isn't even slightly about me. It's not even slightly about me. It's team. It's the team. I've been on holiday, and everything has just continued. You know, the work has continued. The section leaders, the teams, Ian and Rita, and all those things. They just graft. They just work and they graft. And we've got music team people who are on holiday. And again, I did do some youth sessions, and I kind of tuned in a few times and did some sessions with the youth when I was on holiday. But there's the people who are on their holiday and they're still tuning in. They're still doing sessions. They're still turning up. I know that we had Melanie on holiday, and she took a session from a bloody camper van in the middle of a campsite with no natural light. So just our music team are unbelievably committed and dedicated. As I said, we had some new people on our music team, and they've just done amazing work. Absolutely amazing work to kind of pick up the ball. Certain members of the music team had to kind of step back because they just didn't have the time to commit anymore, and we've managed to find other people from within the collective who are already singers, some from the youth chorus, and we're kind of pushing up those younger leaders who've done amazing work, and some from within the sections. And again, the music team people that we've involved is all about them as people. Okay, we've got world-class vocal coaches in our music team, and we've got people who have I'm not saying no experience of vocal coaching, but who are not vocal coaches, who are not directors, who are not section leaders, but they are people who are committed. They have been here, they have done it, they've lived it, and they've breathed it with you, and they are the right kind of people. They're people who just care. And again, as I always say in our meetings, the care and the attention of our music team is what's so much more important than whatever is on their musical CV. The fact that my musical CV is very slim compared to a lot of the people on the music team, but they allow me to lead them. And that's, not, it's not to do with experience, it's not to do with skill. I'm not in this kind of position talking to you now because anything to do with I'm the best at anything. It's, there's people who are, I don't mean beneath me, because that's not what I mean, but there's people on the music team who are, as I said, world class, absolutely world class. And they give their time freely, and they allow me to tell them kind of in a way what to do, although it's very kind of democratic, and I do try to listen to opinions sometimes. But again, they're an amazing team, and again, it's all about who they are as people. They care for you, they want to see you have the best experience. And it is that community thing. It's the community part. And when we started this way back 5 months ago, Collective was all about the community. It was about actually, what do we get from singing and what do we miss from our singing groups? And what we missed from our singing groups and what we still miss from our singing groups is the community. Okay, it's not just the singing. It is the community. It's the friendships. It's the bonds. It's the working towards a common goal. It's knowing the people in your sections. And always for me, I love the other virtual choirs that kind of were more kind of prevalent, that are around there, where you get your voice part, you get maybe a tutorial video, possibly if you're lucky, and you send in a video of you singing it, and that's it. You don't meet the people who sing the same part as you. You don't talk to them. You don't get to know the leadership. You maybe get to see one person who, like the leader, whoever does the conductor video or whatever, but you don't. It's brilliant, and again, they are marvelous things. I'm not bad mouthing any of the virtual choir stuff out there, but what we chose to do was just different. It was just different because we wanted to provide a sense of community. We wanted you to get to know each other. We wanted you to make links around the world. We wanted us to be able to make links with you, to be able to actually give the sense of community that we've lost in not being able to be there with our singing groups in person. And again, that's been, I think, has been a massive success. The fact we've got people who now have made friends with people in different countries, the fact that people have done things that they would not have done if lockdown hadn't have happened, the fact that we could turn a real negative, and again, a real tragic negative, both for people's health and both of kind of the death toll and just the absolute catastrophic nature of COVID-19. But the fact that we've managed to find positives out of a really difficult situation. And again, there has been so many positives with Collective, but that has been team. That's been team positives, music team, the tech team, just such great work from them. The kind of admin team, all those people who are just grafting and working and not pushing themselves forwards and not doing live streams. Do you know what I mean? It's like I do them because I kind of am. I'm not like the figurehead. It's not like I'm the figurehead and I don't do anything. Obviously, I try and work hard and do my best. But again, I don't work any harder than any other member of the music team. I don't do anything else other than they do. We all work together to try and make it as good and as positive as it can be. And hopefully you're enjoying it. That's the idea. We enjoy it. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear some of these recordings coming in. So hopefully you're all doing well. And I really look forward to seeing you soon. I'll try and get into some sessions. I'll try to run some sessions within the boundaries of my job and my work. But I will look forward to seeing you soon. And yeah, long live the Collective, I suppose we would say. So it's good. It is very good. I've had a good holiday. I am relatively rested. The bags under my eyes are significantly smaller than they were pre-holiday, which is good. I have got some bits and bobs to do tomorrow, but I will try and be around and about a little bit tomorrow. I know that there's no sessions tomorrow. I've got a youth session tomorrow. But again, I'll try and do some other bits and bobs. But yeah, so keep an eye out tomorrow. for the feedback recordings form. That will be live tomorrow morning. It might not be 9 a.m. It says in the spreadsheet 9 a.m., but probably it might be, let's say it'll be before the afternoon. So maybe 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock by the time I've got that sorted, because I'm going to head off to bed relatively soon. I'm a little bit tired after a day of travelling home on the trains from Scarborough back to sunny Wigston in Leicestershire. So great, those of you who've managed to tune in. As ever, my short video stream has not been short. It's been 40 minutes. So apologies for waffling. I could literally talk all day about the collective. And interestingly enough, if you are listening to BBC Radio Leicester this Sunday at 9:30 a.m., I will be on the radio chatting about the collective, chatting about choirs in lockdown. So yeah, I'll be making sure I give some big plugs and mentions to the collective and all you lovely people. So that's BBC Radio Leicester, 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. I will be being interviewed on the phone on the radio, so that should be good fun to have a little chat on that. So see you soon. Thank you very much. God bless, and we'll see you. Bye.